As if you don't know what's going on here. Over there, a neighbor's youngster disappeared a week ago. Oh, sorry, Sun's Army, didn't see you there. Just doing a little bit of light reading. In a world that's maybe a little bit happier than ours right now. The world of Metro 2033. A land of post-apocalyptic nuclear explosions 20 years later, where the survivors in Moscow, Russia have to go into the subway systems, and they survived. It is thought that they are the only people left on Earth, and much like 2020, masks are essential for survival. And it seems that there's a shortage of everything in the game, much like 2020. Remember that fun chapter where everybody ran out of toilet paper and people were literally fighting and rioting over toilet paper? Yeah, that was a fun chapter of 2020. So much like 2020, Metro is kind of just survive and wait for the next disaster and survive that too. So today, we are going to see if Metro 2033, the perfect comparison to 2020, is the greatest shooter of all time. I'm Darth Pascal, and welcome to Suns Gaming. Hit the freaking mic. The atmosphere of this game is almost unreal. They set every environment up to tell a story. You'll find bodies lying in a very specific way that tells the tale of how that unfortunate soul met their end. The dark tunnels make you feel cramped, alone, and fearful for what is around the corner. The surface might be even more unsettling because giant flying mutants called demons patrol the air. Bandits, Nazis, and communists protect buildings, and where there are not enemy soldiers, there are mutants that move in packs that even if they catch your scent, will descend upon you. Every station you enter, a safe haven for survivals, feel like you would imagine. Dark, gloomy, depressing, starving people. Kids playing trying to make the best of the only life they have ever known. Parents worrying about the future. People drinking to forget the world they once knew. From the beginning, they set you up with the knowledge that this is not a happy game. This is an experience, a warning about the danger of nuclear war. Even the sound hits heavy in this game. Every scream of a lost soul to the bombs, every crying child, every growl from a deformed beast puts you on edge. The soundtrack does the same. You are soothed by the peaceful music that plays when entering a safe station, and put on edge with the dark and intense music that plays when you are on the surface of the world. The design of the enemies, especially the mutants, puts you on edge. The design screams of a child's worst nightmare. Visuals are about what you would expect from a game from 2010, then remastered in 2015. They are good, but not mind-blowing. But the visuals do immerse you, despite being dated in terms of a broader picture. When you boot up the game for the first time, Metro makes you feel alone, hopeless, and possibly even afraid, all from the atmosphere presented right away. The story, in my opinion, really isn't the focus of the game. The actual story itself, I mean. It is not the focus. It is the message of the game. The message that the author of the book that inspired the game was trying to get across. And it's not an easy message. War is a part of human nature. Violence is a part of human nature. Even after the world has been destroyed by nuclear warfare, humans are still fighting. There are a few thousand people left, and they are still fighting, still feuding over political disagreements, over who's in charge and who should be. The story shows you that even if we disagree, we are all still humans, and violence is never the right answer. That's how you can achieve the good ending of the game, by doing as much good as possible and as little violence as possible. Violence may be necessary sometimes, and maybe it's not as black and white. Violence may seem necessary sometimes, but the message of the game is to always try and find another way. If we aren't careful, our world may end up the same way the world of Metro did. The gameplay is as intense as you can imagine. You always have a choice when it comes to human interaction, stealth or all-out combat. While it may contradict what I said about violence, the game has very rewarding shooting, so more often than not, I went for all-out combat. I would try stealth, and I couldn't help myself from getting a headshot with a sniper, and I would wind up alerting the guards. The times I did pull off being completely stealthy, I have to say the amount of relief you have after clearing a section without anyone seeing or detecting you in any way was the most rewarding part of the game. The minimal HUD in this game further immerses you into the game. The survival aspect and managing of resources is what made this game famous. Managing how many air filters are left is truly a struggle at times. If your gas mask fully breaks and you're nowhere near a new one, that is a whole new level of intensity. You have a matter of seconds to find a new gas mask until your lungs fill with toxins and you die. Managing ammo is also a struggle. Running out of ammo with your shotgun when you are in close range makes killing mutants a much harder challenge. This kind of gameplay is not for everyone, but I did enjoy the intensity of managing my resources. The game has several different difficulty levels, making it possible to jump in and experience the game just for the atmosphere, or truly have one of the hardest FPS experiences ever made. The guns are broken, diverse, and difficult to master, making learning how to effectively fire each one even more rewarding. The gameplay does its job and keeps you immersed and stressed throughout the entirety of the campaign, which depending on the difficulty, you should be able to finish in around 9 hours. Sadly, there are not too many games like Metro in terms of environment and overall feeling, and that's what makes it unique. There's very, very little comic relief, save for this one gem.
Yes, my mistress. I hear you.
Why is he calling to his mistress? This is strange.
Always.
What the heck?
Yes. Now I am happy. Your songs are magnificent. Sing more. Sing always for me.
There are games that have aspects of Metro survival, shooting, or atmosphere, but never all three, so it makes its legacy difficult to assess. I don't think it's inspired many games, and I don't think it was inspired by many other games either, except for maybe Stalker. That's what makes it unique. I hope that its legacy will be that people play it, read the book, or maybe even watch this video and realize its message about human nature and the destructive capability mankind has. So where does it fit on our running list? It's at number 5. I wanted to put it higher, I really did, but I couldn't find a way for it to go above any of these other games based on its story, atmosphere, and message alone. There is no multiplayer and there is no reason to come back and play it again. It is a game that I love, a story that I love, but if it wasn't for making this video, I don't think I would have ever played it again. Where do you think Metro should have ranked? If you haven't played it before, are you going to now? Let me know down in the comments below. If you're new, subscribe. If you like the video, drop a like, and I will see you guys next week for an Apex lore video on Octane. I'm Darth Pascal, and I will see you sons next time.